Hello and welcome to the Friend Leigh Show. I am your host and friend, Leigh. Okay, so we're a little bit late today. Please accept my apology. But I am super excited about this theme this month and this conversation in particular. You'll notice we are in a different studio today. I've been staying at my parents' for the last week, and I will probably get into that tonight too, because it all kind of applies. But if you are just listening to this for the first time, welcome to the Friend Leigh Show. We're super excited that you're here. And let me just kind of tell you how we work things here because it is a little bit different than most shows. So this is a live show. And what we do is I like to kind of pretend that you're coming into my living room. You're hanging out with me. And maybe you've brought a couple friends. I've invited a couple friends. We're in my living room. We're chatting. If you've ever chatted with me, you know that we'll be on one topic, but then possibly be squirreling other places. And so that's what we'll be doing in the show. But how we kind of try to frame the show is every month we have a theme. And then what we do is we work every week that we look at that theme through the lens of one of the pillars of the happy framework. And so on the first week of the month, we talk about health and affection for ourselves, the first two pillars of the happy framework. And so that is what we're going to be doing today. And what I thought is that because it's February, and some people are like, oh, yeah, so is it going to be about love because of Valentine's Day? Nope. But it is going to be about love because it is self-care day, Galentine's Day. So Galentine's Day is on the 13th of February, and self-care day is also on the 13th of February. You can correct me if I'm wrong, but I'm pretty sure that's the case. And so this is the perfect theme for us in really diving into our happiness. So I'm really excited to kind of talk about it all month long. The other thing that we do that's really special on the show that is my favorite part is when you're part of the show, when you're watching us live. So if you're listening to this in the replay or on the audio version, Spotify, Apple, wherever you're listening to this, I highly recommend that you come on over to the show either on Facebook, Twitch, YouTube, or LinkedIn and join us live because we record every Wednesday at 7:30 p.m. Eastern or 6:30 Central, whatever the equivalent is for you. And when you comment, you become part of the show. So here we go. So hello, Mel. Mel says, hey, lady, woohoo. Okay, I'm so glad you're here. I was really worried that because we were late that I wasn't going to have you guys here, but this is cool. She says, oh, I bet it's gorgeous there. It is. Oh my gosh, I absolutely love it here. Morning. Hey, Pops. Okay, so friends are in the house. We are ready to jam. So super, super exciting. So now what I'm going to do, and this is going to change in the show going forward, maybe not in the next couple weeks, but next month for sure. What I'm going to do is I'm going to be separating this into two podcasts, and we're going to do two podcasts a week. Wednesday is going to stay the same. That Wednesday really is a live interactive show. But what you've noticed is at the beginning of the show, I really give a lot of tangible tips about the theme and the happy pillar. And so what I'm going to do is I'm going to launch that part of the show just as like a quick action step kind of show, either on Mondays. I think that's probably when I'll launch it. And so Mondays we'll do a quick 15-minute show-ish, get all that out so you can listen to that prior to the show. And then that way, there's a lot of people that are watching it in the replay. And then they're like, oh, well, I didn't get to really like comment the way that other people that get to watch it live comment. So now what this is going to do, you listen to it on Monday and you can email me. So if you email the friend Leigh, Leigh, show at gmail.com, then you can listen to the show and you can type out whatever your comments are, whatever your questions are. And then on the Wednesday live show, I will read yours as well. So you become a part of the show. So I'm really excited about that. I would love to launch that next week. I might, but the way that my days and weeks have been going, I just am not committing to anything. So I'm committing to you guys on Wednesday nights, and I'm also committing to the Happy Lab. So at the end of the show, I'm going to talk to you guys about the Happy Lab because I'm super proud of it, super excited about it. And I want to tell you about it. But right now, I want to get into the show. So, like I said, we're going to be talking this week about, or this month, about love. And the way that I want you to think about it is that we are going to look at life, happiness, through the lens of love. So, a lot of the times we say that we're looking at all of these different themes through the lens of happiness. But this month, I really want you to be focused on looking at it through the lens of love. Okay. So, liken it to, when people say, oh, you're just looking at the world in rosy colored glasses. What that means is when you put on a colored glass, you see everything in that rosy tint, right? And so I want you to look at everything: politics, family, friends, work, all of it through the lens of love. And it will be a game changer. I can promise you. It's really fascinating. So here are the tangible tips that I wanted to kind of share with you about things that you can be doing for your health and for your affection for yourself. Things that we've talked about before, probably on the show, but things that I really want you to start doing this month. Instead of looking at it like, because February kind of is a hard month for some people because they're like, oh, I'm forever single, or oh, I just broke up with my person, or whatever. And they're attaching on the outside that happiness. They're attaching on the outside their love, their worthiness, all of that kind of thing. And I want you to reframe February that this is about me. This is about my self love. How do I show myself that I love myself? Okay. So here are some of the things. And I want you to be in the comments, and I'm not going to see it until I go over to kind of start that part of the show, but you can go ahead and start commenting now if you want. Do you do any of these things? Or are there things that I'm not saying, because there's a million of them? Are there things that I'm not saying that you're like, this is what I do? I just take 5 minutes and I do fill in the blank. And that really fills up my soul and my heart. So that's what I want to talk about it. Because people like the stats I kind of pulled like a whole bunch of stats, and all of them were about practicing self-care, showing yourself kindness. Sorry, I'm like very in tune to what's going on over there. I just want to make sure I'm not missing something. So anyway, all of this and what it does for our nervous system, what it does for the chemicals that we're producing inside of our body, and all of it obviously is good. When I did the TEDx talk, I did it on the 4-letter word that can change the world, hugs. And it was fascinating the amount of studies out there, science out there that shows when we're taking care of ourselves, when we're giving ourselves, so hugs to other people, but then when we're giving ourselves hugs, when we're having mental hugs with other people, when we're thinking and watching good, happy things, what happens to our nervous system, to our cortisol levels, our stress hormone, all of it, our serotonin, our oxytocin, all of this either increases or decreases in the good way, right? So cortisol, it's a stress hormone that reduces significantly. Oxytocin, that's the love and bonding hormone, that increases. So that's why this is super, super important this month, you guys. It's important all the time, but especially this month. So I wanted to make sure that you're treating your body with love, and I want to make sure that you're treating your mind with love this month. Okay. So here's some of the things that you can be doing. So eat with love. Okay. So sometimes what we do is we're like, oh my gosh, I'm really sad, or I'm really stressed out. And so I'm going to eat with love because I'm going to give myself comfort food. Right. But is that really showing you that you love yourself? No, because you're consuming things that are eventually going to be hurting you. It's not going to increase your energy. It's going to make you feel good just in that one moment. But then you're going to feel lethargic. You're going to feel tired. You're going to feel potentially bloated, all of these kinds of things. And you're not going to be living your best life. If you really want to show yourself that you love yourself, when you're stressed out, mentally, you're going to automatically, until you shift this, until you turn this habit, You're going to go for the chocolate, the chips, the pasta, all that kind of thing. But when you go for it, you can say, what is this going to really make me feel? Is this the way that I want to feel? And if not, then you can go to something else. Make yourself a smoothie with protein powder that feels like a milkshake, but it's got the healthy things that you need inside of it. Go and have a banana. And that's so sweet. It feels really good. It feels like a cheat, but it's not. So do these things that will nourish your body, and that will nourish your soul. Okay. So do that. Move with joy. Okay. It does not have to be anything that is, okay, so I need to take care of myself. I need to show myself that I love myself. And I'm going to go to the gym and work out for 2 hours and I'm going to hate every minute of it. Well, that's not very kind. Like, I don't want to hang out with people that are like, hey, you want to go do this really annoying thing that neither one of us are going to like? I think it's going to be awesome. Let's go do it on Saturday night. No, we don't do that. Right? We're like, hey, let's go do this fun thing together. So let's go do this fun thing together for ourselves. That might be for you dancing. That might be for you yoga. That might be for you going for a morning walk in nature. Figure out what that is for you and go with yourself and do that thing. Okay. So you're not doing things alone, you're doing things with yourself. Rest like you matter. Take the time to rest. If you're not getting your sleep during the night, look at options for you to be fixing that. And if you're not able to fix that in the short term, do things like NSDR, non-sleep deep rest, where you take breaks throughout the day and you do a 5, 10, 15-minute NSDR where you could rejuvenate yourself. Take the naps that you need. These are all really, really important, and prioritizing your sleep really is showing yourself, hey, you know what? I love you. I want you to have an amazing day tomorrow. And so we're going to start your day tomorrow, tonight. Okay. And then breath work. So we've talked about breath work on the show. I am not a breath work facilitator. I don't know nearly what the professionals know about that. And I should say, this is a great lead in to my disclaimer that I do every week. I'm not a healthcare professional. I'm simply your friend that we're having a conversation that's super important. But if you hear anything that is like, oh my gosh, that might be me. Oh my gosh, I love what they said about the treatment that they're doing. Anything that resonates with you, it is meant here for education and entertainment. However, if anything resonates with you, take it to your healthcare professional, whether it's your family doctor, your GP, your specialist, or your therapist. Okay. So just please make sure you do that. So like I said, I'm not a breath care professional. Or breath work professional. I don't know all the different ins and outs of it. However, what I do know is that when I use it, and I use it all the time, it really helps me. And so, especially the last month, it has been a very challenging time with me and my family. I have used the physiological sigh multiple times a day, every single day. And all that is where you breathe in as much as you can. Then you do one more quick breath in, and then you breathe out through your mouth. Doing one round of that can significantly lower your cortisol, get you into like out of the fight or flight mode, and kind of bring you back to center. If you're really, really heightened, you might have to do a couple different rounds of it, and that's okay. That's one of the simplest ones and the most effective ones that I have found. And so that's what I use. And it's fascinating because people will see me do it and they'll be like, oh my gosh, are you okay? And I was like, absolutely. Now I'm so much better. Right. Like, but people think that like when you take a deep breath, it's like, oh my gosh, something's wrong. No, I'm just loving myself enough to take a moment. Right. So those are just some of the things that we can be doing to kind of take care of our health through the lens of love. So not doing it, over and above, being kind, being gentle with ourselves, but also taking the time to do all of those things. So then I also made just a couple really quick things that we can be doing to show our heart that we love ourselves. And really that is taking time to really think about the things that we need and that we want and asking for them, realizing that asking for what we want is not selfish. You're not taking everything. You're simply asking for help. You're simply asking for what you need. And so that is not selfish. That is nourishing you so you can nourish everybody else. Saying no without guilt. No is a sentence in itself. Somebody asks you to do something and you are not feeling it, it is not aligned with you, you don't have the capacity or the energy to take it on, you can simply say no. You can also say it kinder and softer and sweeter and say, I really wish that I could, but at this time I can't. A friend of mine, Marla, if you're watching this, hey girl, I love this. She says, you know what? My plate is as full as I want it to be right now. So I'm going to pass on that. My plate is as full as I want it to be. Not my plate is too full, like I can't take on anything else. It's spilling over. No, it's as full as I want it to be. So I'm going to pass now. So we can say no as a full sentence and take care of ourselves. A couple other things that we can be doing is a gratitude journal. And that does not have to be journaling for 20 minutes. That does not even have to be 5 things every day that you're grateful for. That can simply be in the moment when something is feeling super heavy. And instead of saying, why me? Oh my gosh, this again, I can't believe it. Say, I am so grateful for fill in the blank, whatever that is for you. And just remembering to do that. Because like we've said, our brain is fixed that it's all, well, our brain's not fixed. It's available for growth, right? But it is created in a way that you're not taking in everything. When you look at a bookcase, let's say you go to a bookstore and you're looking for the book that you want, you are actually not taking in every word on the spine of every single book that you see, right? You're just scanning to look for what you need. And so you're focusing on that one book, that one author, maybe the color of the book that it is. That's what you're focusing on. If you had to read and focus on every single word that you saw on that shelving unit inside of the bookstore, you would be there for years. You would be anxious, overwhelmed, and you would not buy the book. Okay, as a very simple example. And so we want to always be making sure that we are setting ourselves up, that we are focused on gratitude, because then when we're focused on that, we find more things to be grateful for. When we focus on the things that we have control over being happy about, happy framework, right? Each pillar of the happy framework. When we are able to focus on that, we find more reasons to be happy, more moments to be happy. So focusing on a gratitude journal, a happiness journal is really, really important. And then another thing that I wanted to talk about, especially since it's Valentine's, is taking yourself out on a date. Okay. So that doesn't have to be like you don't have to be weird about it. You don't have to be like, oh, I just love myself. I mean, whatever. If you want to do that, go for it. I'd love it. And if you do, take a video and just send it to me. Okay. So you want to give yourself a hug. I love it. But if you want to go to the spa, go to the spa. Go spend the money on yourself and go to the spa. If you want to see a movie and you can't find the friend that wants to go to it, and you're like, oh, I wish I could go see it, but I don't have a boyfriend. Nobody wants to go, blah, blah, blah. Guess what? You can go and buy a ticket. You can go sit in the movie theater and you can watch it. And what's really cool about that, you don't have somebody next to you going, hey, did you hear it? Did you see? Did you, what? No, you're just there and you just get to enjoy it privately. Go to a restaurant and eat a nice meal, just you and yourself, with yourself, not by yourself. Okay. So all these things I want you to be thinking about. All right. So now going forward, at least in March, maybe earlier, that portion of the show will be its own show on Mondays that you'll be able to listen to in the car, on your walk, wherever you are. And then we'll be able to talk about it on Wednesdays. So I'm really, really excited about that. So let's go back into the show and see what I have missed. Okay. So Mel says, lens of love. Yes. Okay. That's awesome. She also said our electricity just went off. Oh, okay. So maybe just too much love. It was just like too much all over. Is there such a thing as too much love? No, I don't think so. Okay. So Mel says, I'll return in a bit. Be right back. Okay. Well, welcome back when you come. Please make sure that you tell me that you're here. So, we don't have any other comments, which is totally okay. But if you are watching, because I see that there's eyeballs, if you're watching, please don't be shy and please let me know. Get in the comments and let me know what are some of the things either that I said that you're like, oh man, yeah, you know what? I'm going to start looking at my movement or my gratitude or my eating in this way. whatever I said that was just like, that's curious. I think I'm going to try that. Um, Let me know. Okay, so, ooh, Sarah is here. Hey, woman. She says, I love a good movie alone. That is awesome. That's so cool. Yeah, it's so nice. And the other thing is sometimes I like if when I do it, because I have been, usually I go with my sister because we get in for free. She works at the movie theater. But when I have gone on my own, it's nice because then also sometimes, you guys, sometimes I nod off in the movie and I feel guilty when I do it when I'm with people because then I'm like, oh man, like I don't want them to think that I'm like bored with them, which is silly because I'm not. But yeah, it's just nice sometimes just to take like a little shut eye during the movie too. Anyway, okay. So let me know. And if you're listening to this in the audio version, wherever you're listening to your favorite podcast, The Friend Leigh Show, and you're hearing this and you're like, yeah, you know what? I'm really going to try that piece. Or, hey, did you ever think of doing this? Because this is what I do to show myself that I love myself. Please send me an email, or you can find me on Facebook or YouTube. You can comment on this actual show, and I will absolutely see it. I'm the only one that really takes care of this whole platform, all of it. So I will be the one that will be in touch with you in the comments. Okay. So as we're waiting for other comments to come in, I do want to tell you about the Happy Lab, which I am so freaking excited about, you guys. It has been literally decades in the making that I've just been wanting to do this, and I've been doing it fragmented. I've been doing it, a mastermind here and a book club here. I run a book club that we've done every single week for 44 years, every single week. And the people that are in that book club, the first day that we did the book club, that they were in it, and we've had new people come. The first day, we don't know who they are. They're a new person in the book club. And within weeks, they become friends. And that was part of the premise of calling this the Friend Leigh Show, because that's what happens when you really open up your heart and you're open to having experiences with each other. You become friends. And that's what I want everything that I do. The Hello Happy coaching, the Happy Lab, the Happy Circle, all the things that I'm doing, it's all in the hopes that you're going to feel like you're more connected to people around you, whether that's people locally or just people online. Some people are like, oh, I'm so zoomed out, or, oh, I couldn't go on to another Facebook thing. That's actually not true. You're just not part of the things that are really nourishing you. And so what I've done is I've put everything that I do. I used to have Facebook groups and all these kinds of things. I've done everything in the Happy Circle. The Circle is an app that you can put on your phone, so you're not going to be notified by all kinds of other things. It's just going to be your Happy Circle. And it's really, really cool. It's free. You can come, you can bring your friends, and it's kind of like Facebook, but there is all just positivity, growth, personal development, happiness inside of there. There's also a little room that's available that if you are having a really bad day and you just need to kind of vent, you're able to put it inside of there. Nobody else will get a notification that you've gotten something inside of there. So in your feed or in other people's feed, they're not going to see your rant or you're reaching out or anything like that. But when other people are ready, that they feel like they have the capacity to listen to something that's not as positive, then they go into that room and they support you. They go into the room and they read and they comment and they're there, but they're there when they're ready to be there, instead of going on to Facebook or, Instagram or whatever. So then they can kind of get a dose of positivity, and then they see all of this negativity. It defeats the purpose of why you're going on to social media, to be social with people, because you're getting blindsided by politics and people's problems all over the place. And you're not able to just curate it that like, no, right now I just need peace. I need happiness. That's it. And you're able to do that in the Happy Circle. So that's really, really cool. And then with the Happy Lab, we just, launched that. We just opened the doors this week. And that is a paid part of the membership and super freaking cheap. It's cheap, inexpensive, because it's not cheap. It is like such high value. I'm so excited. So this is what it is. It's 44 bucks a month. And right now, if you are a founder, I'm giving the first month and then the second, like the first full month. So obviously, if you join today, it's February 5th. You've got another 23 days of the month. That'll be half. Did I say free? It's not. It's half the price. So it's $22 a month for February, and then it'll be $22 for March as well. So then you can kind of get your feet in here and see it. So it's 2 months for one at $44. And here's what you get. So there's going to be a private chat for all of us to be inside of there and working on our personal development and our journey through happiness. We also have a book club where we meet twice a month, and it's like this, but it's kind of like Zoom, but again, it's in the happy circle. And then we've got a happy hour twice a month, and that is where it's gonna kind of just be like a grassroots. We're going to see how it kind of plays out. Maybe we'll have dance parties. Maybe we'll journal together. Maybe we'll just do the lightning round with questions and those kinds of things. We're going to play around with it. It's going to depend on who's showing up for that night and what everybody wants to do. Of course, I'm going to have ideas of what I want us to do, but if it takes a different direction, then that's great. It's just a happy hour. That one's going to be really, really cool. That's on Thursday nights. So the first one is actually tomorrow night, February 6th. And then we are having a weekly mastermind where we are focusing on our happiness. So we're going to be celebrating our wins from the week. We're going to be setting up our goals, setting up our schedule. We're really going to be talking about the things that are kind of hindering our happiness and finding those ways to really start focusing on our happiness through the pillars. And so there's it's kind of like a group coaching ish, but also major accountability with you, your friends. And that's going to be really special. Again, it's like a Zoom, but it's inside of the circle. So you're going to have it on your app that you can do it just about anywhere. So if you want, you can do the mastermind. You can go to your favorite coffee shop, throw on your earbuds and be part of the mastermind there. Same thing with the happy hour, same thing with the book club. There's going to be so much that you are going to be able to do. All of it is going to be for the $44 a month. And any of the challenges that I do, so you guys know I do monthly challenges, I do weekly challenges, those will all be free to you as a Happy Lab participant. So super, super excited. Sarah is already a member. Natalie is already a member. Rose is already a member. Rose was our very first member. Rose, I'm so excited. So it is going to be super, super exciting. For the deal, you can message me and I will let you know what the code is. And I think that's it. So I am so excited about this. You have no idea. And this is going to be the book that we're doing first. So we're going to be talking about the first 2 agreements of the 4 agreements book next Thursday. So it's going to be so good. Okay. So now I'm hoping that you guys, yes, I still have eyeballs here. Okay. So now every week, what we do at the end of the show, we leave the last 15-ish minutes to do a lightning round, get to know our friends, okay? And we pull out, normally I have a box of cards that has just these random questions. Well, I'm not at my house right now, and that's where I usually do my podcast. I'm at my parents' house, and I do not have the cards with me. So what I did is I went on to ChatGPT and I just said, hey, I'm going to be doing a podcast that's going to be about self-love, health, happiness. And I want to get some questions that are pertaining to that. And I want to have them really engaging. So can you please put some together? And some of them were great. Some of them weren't. And I will give you a couple of them that were good. And we are going to do that. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to read 3. And then what I want you to do is I want you to put your answers in. And this is what I always suggest. Put your answer to the first one and then send it as a comment. Don't try to answer all 3 of them inside of one message. That way we can be talking about it because you are going to be part of the show. And I will repeat them for the next little bit so you don't have to remember all 3. Okay. So the first one is, If you had to give yourself a self-love nickname, what would it be? And some examples that they gave were like Queen of Kindness or Captain Confidence. What would that be? So I thought that was really, really cute. The next one is what's your favorite way to show your body love through movement? So dancing, yoga, a fun walk, or something else. So that one, it's not as fun as the first one, but I really like it because I like to know what other people are doing for fun in their fitness because I don't want to go on the treadmill. I mean, when I do, it's great. Um, it's not great. It gets the job done, you know? But I want to see what you guys are doing for fun for your fitness. So let me know what your favorite way is. And then, um, so this one was really cool too. This is the third one. If you could send a thank you text to your past self, what would it say? So if you could send a thank you text to your past self, what would it say? Okay, those are fun, fun, fun. Okay, so you guys go ahead, answer them. I will go answer them, and then you can let me know. Sarah says, love dancing. Yes. Okay. And I'm okay, not right now, but in the future, I really want to get a dancing event for locals for you guys here. That is going to be like kind of an outing that I want to do. I don't know if we go to a club and do it or if we just go to like I don't know, somewhere and just do it or go to a park and just dance. But I really want to get more dancing in my life too because I do it in my kitchen. Um I do it at the office. I do it in the car a lot. But yeah, I really want to get like a group of people together and we just go and dance. When we did it at the retreat that we had, the Happy Holiday retreat that we did, and we did ecstatic dancing, that was pretty cool. Oh, that's so good, Sarah. Okay, and then for the third answer, what Sarah said for her thank you note, it would say thank you for not giving up. Mm. That is good. That is really, really good. I love that answer, Sarah. Okay, so for me, and then let me just go up here. So the first question was if you had to give yourself a self-love nickname, what would it be? So that's the only one that you're missing, Sarah. And then for the rest of you guys that are watching, go ahead and do it. So if I had to give myself a self-love nickname, what would it be? It would be um it would be Uh, you know what? It would probably just be the hugger. The hugger. That would be my nickname. Because it's actually a nickname that a lot of people give me. They're like, "Oh, there's Leanne, she's the hugger." And it was, kind of a combination that everywhere I go, I like start my conversations with a hug. Um, we've had like nurses coming in here for my sister. She's okay. She will be okay. But we've been having nurses come in and I know that they're like particular about like hygiene and all that kind of stuff. So I'm always like, hey, I'm a hugger. Is it appropriate for me to give you a hug and thank you for today? All of them have been cool about it, obviously. So it's been good. But I'm a huge hugger. And actually in 2020, I started a Instagram page and I kept it up for I think 2 years, and every single day I did a video and it was me hugging the like just in front of the screen and giving a little bit of like positivity because, it was really a challenging time for a lot of people. And so the Instagram handle was be the hugger. And so yeah, I think that's what my nickname would be. Okay, so Sarah says, I was actually thinking of joining a dance class. Ooh, okay, yes, please do that and tell me when and where you're going. And if I can do it, I will do it with you. I would love that. Also, if it could be like a hip hop dance thing, that'd be really cool. I'm not a good dancer, so it'd be really funny for everybody. But for me, it would just be able to like let loose. If it was an ecstatic dance one, that would be super cool or if it was a line dancing one. I would love that. Anytime that I hear a line dancing song come up, I'm just looking around and I was like, is anybody doing it? I want to do it right now. So yeah, I'd be totally down for that. That'd be super, super cool. Okay, and let us see the other one. So the nickname, I went long-winded on that and shared that with you. My favorite way to show my body love through movement is absolutely walking outside. I don't care if it is sweltering outside. I don't care if it is freezing outside. I don't care if it's raining, snowing, sleeting, hailing. I've done it all and I love it. It's sometimes the more challenging the weather, the more that I feel like I'm giving myself confidence, like I'm boosting my confidence skill, and that makes me feel really good. And so it's like it's not self-deprecating. It's not like masochistic or whatever, where you're like just hurting yourself. Like, oh, it's freezing, I'm going to go out. I don't go out for an hour, but I do go out for a little bit. I bundle up the proper way, but I like to do hard things because I like to prove to myself, you know what, you're a lot stronger than you think you are some days. Some days it's hard just to show up. And when you can start your day doing something that's a little bit difficult, and sometimes that's just not hitting the alarm and just getting your running shoes on and walking out the door. Sometimes that's the hardest thing you'll do in the day, and then everything else becomes easy. So that is my favorite way of moving. I love dancing, but walking out in nature, the biggest thing for me. And then if you could send a thank you text to your past self, what would it be? That's a really good one, Sarah. I really like that. Thank you for not giving up. I would also say I would thank myself for always being inquisitive. Um, I think that's gotten me through a lot. And especially in like really hard times, it's really helped me. So I would write myself a note and say thank you so much for that. Okay, so the rest of you guys are being a little bit quiet on these questions, and that's okay. But again, if you're listening to this in the audio version, please come on over and hit your comments in the YouTube, Facebook, Twitch. Actually, don't do it in Twitch because I still don't know how this thing works. But go ahead and go to LinkedIn, Facebook, or YouTube and comment. And it doesn't matter when you comment, even if you're listening to this in April, I don't care. Go ahead and comment and I will get notified, I hope, and I will see it and I will celebrate you. So, okay, so we may be wrapping up. You guys, next week we're going to be doing the 60th episode. I am so excited. I can't believe it. I still feel like this is a brand new show. I can't believe we've been doing it for well over a year now. So thank you all for so much for being a part of this. Thank you for those of you that are a part of the circle. Thank you, Sarah, especially since you're here listening to this live with us. Thank you for being a part of the Happy Lab. I'm so geeked about it. And I can't wait to welcome all the rest of you guys to it. I think it's going to be really, really cool. I know it's going to be really impactful. And I know it's something that I need. So it's probably something that you could use too. So I love you guys so much. Big hugs from the hugger and your friend, Leigh. I love you. Bye.